season replays, fantasy drafts, ultimate creative leagues, and what if tournament. It's Coffee Cup Games with the coach, DKM. Hey, this is Coach DK with Coffee Cup Games. Hope you guys are having a good one. We are continuing our series replaying the 1976 playoffs. We are doing this in honor of Strat-O-Matic, re-releasing the 1976 out-of-print version of that regular season. And so we decided to go ahead and start our replay with the American League and National League Championship Series. Originally in 1976, the Cincinnati Reds and the New York Yankees both met in the World Series after winning their respective championship series. The New York Yankees took 5 games to go ahead and advance over the Kansas City Royals, and the Cincinnati Reds swept the Philadelphia Phillies, advanced to the World Series, and then ended up sweeping the Bronx Bombers. But in our replay, it's looking a little bit different. In our replay of the 1976 American League Championship Series, the New York Yankees did once again advance to the World Series, but in our replay, it only took them 4 games after winning Game 4 in a 13-inning, incredible back-and-forth pitching duel that the Yankees eventually won 2-1. And in the National League Championship Series, Cincinnati unfortunately dropped Game 1, which has now gotten us to Game number 4 as they have won Games 2 and 3 and have a chance now to win Game 4 and return to the World Series. But because there was no Game 4 originally in 1976, we need to figure out who's going to be the starter since we cannot go back and look at the original lineups. So let's go ahead, let's jump in and check out who's going to be starting for Game 4 of our 1976 replay of the National League Championship Series. And for the Phillies, they're going to lead off like they had in Game 1 going against a left-handed pitcher. They're going to start off with Cash, the second baseman. Maddox, the center fielder, is going to be batting second. Schmidt, the third baseman, is going to be batting third. And in the cleanup spot, it's going to be the left fielder, Lazinski. Dick Allen's going to be playing first and batting fifth. John Stone, the right fielder, will be batting sixth. Boone, the catcher, will be batting seventh. And Larry Boa, the shortstop, will be batting eighth. And on the mound will be lefty Carlton. He went 20-7 with a 3.13 ERA. And not much change for the Cincinnati Reds. They're going to have Pete Rose, the third baseman, leading off. Griffey, the right fielder, is going to be batting second. Morgan, the second baseman, is going to be batting third. Tony Perez, the first baseman, is going to be batting fourth in the cleanup spot. And Foster, the left fielder, is going to be batting fifth. Johnny Bench, the catcher, is going to be batting sixth. Concepcion, the shortstop, will be batting seventh. And Geronimo, the center fielder, will be batting eighth. And we decided to go with the left-hander, Fred Norman, to start Game 4. He went 12-7 with a 3.09 ERA. So there's the lineups. Let's go ahead and let's jump into the action. But before we do, I'm going to ask you guys, do me a quick favor, hit that thumbs up button, like the video. I'd really appreciate if you guys like the videos that I'm putting out here. Also, it'd be great if you would subscribe to the channel, trying to get to 150 subscribers. And lastly, leave any questions, comments, or snide remarks in the comment section down below. And with that being said, now let's jump into Game 4 of the National League Championship Series from 1976 between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Cincinnati Reds. All right, Game 4 at Riverfront Stadium. It is a good day in the middle of October. We have Freddie Norman on the mound going against the leadoff man for the Phillies, Cash, the second baseman, who hit 284. Here's the first pitch, and it's going to be a ground ball to Morgan at second. That's going to be 1 down. And next up is Gary Maddox. Gary Maddox is going to hit a ground ball to Concepcion, and that's going to be 2 down. And now here's future Hall of Famer, third baseman Mike Schmidt. And Mike Schmidt needs a 1-12, but it's going to be a 17. So instead of a home run, it's going to be a double. So the rolls came into our favor on that one. And now Lazinski's up. The left fielder, he hit 304 with 21 home runs. Had a very good 1976 campaign. He's going to hit a ground ball back to the pitcher, Freddie Norman, who's able to make a defensive play and get the third out. So that's going to be 3 down, and we go into the bottom of the first as we escaped a Mike Schmidt possible home run, and now Pete Rose is going to lead off, and he's going to hit a fly ball to Gary Maddox in center field, and that's going to be 1 down. And now here is Ken Griffey. He needs a 1-2. It's going to be a 7. So a 1-2 for a triple. The rest of it's going to be a double. So Griffey is on second base early with only 1 down. And now Morgan is up. He hit 320 with 27 home runs. He's going to hit a ground ball to Larry Boa. Larry Boa is going to have to make a play. We have to decide what we're going to do. They're going to take the easy out. At first, we did advance Griffey, took that risk, and so with 2 down, we got a runner on third, and Tony Perez is up. The first baseman's going to hit a little dribbler in front of home plate that they are able to make an easy play for the 3rd out. So both teams get runners in scoring position in the first inning, but neither team is able to advance. So here we go. Top of the 4th, it's Dick Allen. Dick Allen is going to hit a fly ball to Geronimo, who has to make a defensive play.
Give me that!
An incredible highlight film play by Geronimo as he had to run back toward his left, toward right center field, and is able to make an over-the-shoulder catch near the warning track. So John Stone's up. 1 down, and he needs a 1-19. He's going to get a 9, so that is going to be a single. And that's going to bring up Brett Boone, the catcher, at 271. And he's going to hit a ground ball back to Norman, who's going to get the runner on first at second base for a fielder's choice, not able to turn the double play. But that's going to be 2 down, and they still don't have a runner in scoring position. Now Larry Boa, the shortstop's up, who only hit 248. He's going to hit a line ball straight at Concepcion for the 3rd out. So that's going to be 3 down as we now go into the bottom of the 2nd. Here's George Foster. Foster's going to hit a line out right at Mike Schmidt. That's going to be 1 down. And here's Johnny Bench. Future Hall of Famer is going to hit a ground ball to Larry Boa. That's going to be an out. And so now here we come with Concepcion, our shortstop. He's going to pull the ball into left field for a routine fly ball that Lazinski's able to pull in for the 3rd out. And that's going to now take us to the top of the 3rd. And Steve Carlton, the pitcher, is up. He is going to be going against his counterpart. He's going to hit a ground ball to Pete Rose. Pete Rose could not get there as he dove to his left, but he squeaks through between 3rd and short, and now Steve Carlton is on base. So now Cash is up with a leadoff single, and he is going to hit a single to opposite field in the right field. So Carlton able to take 3rd base easily. So the Phillies are leading off with 2 quick hits. And now Gary Maddox is up. He's going to be struck out. A huge strikeout by Freddie Norman. And now here is Mike Schmidt. He doubled in the 1st. He's going to hit a fly ball to left field to Foster. Carlton has not, he's a pitcher, so he's not very fast. He's going to tag up. He's going to try to steal. Foster has a -1 arm. We are going to throw the ball to home plate. They are going to go ahead and send Cash to second. I see the play at the home, and
he's out.
We are able to get him out. Awesome. As Steve Carlton, the pitcher, is thrown out by a great throw by Foster. He needed a 1-11 to be safe. It was a 17, so this really was not close. So a huge defensive play to end the top of the 3rd as we now go into the bottom of the 3rd. We have our 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up. Geronimo, our center fielder, strikeout. A strikeout for Steve Carlton. That's his 1st strikeout of the game. And now here is the pitcher, and he's going to be struck out. So back-to-back strikeouts for Steve Carlton. And now here is Pete Rose, and he needs a 1-10 for a home run. It's going to be a 19. It is over. Maddox hits off the wall. Pete Rose able to get a double with 2 down. And now here's Griffey, who doubled in 1st inning. He's going to hit a ground ball to Cash, who has to make a play. It is going to be an error as Cash is not able to bring this one in as he juggles it. And so Griffey able to beat out the throw. Pete Rose now is on 3rd, and now here's Joe Morgan, who hit 320. He was 2nd on a team in average. He was 2nd on home runs. He does really good against right-handers, and he is going to hit a fly ball to center field as the left-hander Steve Carlton, with a runner on 3rd, is able to get the out. So after 3 innings, Philadelphia has 0 runs on 4 hits. They have committed an error. And Cincinnati has 0 runs on 2 hits and is yet to commit an error. So top of the 4th, here we go. Freddie Norman on the mound going against the left fielder Lazinski. Lazinski needs the 1-7. This one is hit well. It might have the distance, and it will get over the wall in left center field.
Idiot.
A home run to lead off the top of the 4th by Greg Lazinski. Man, what a shot. And now Dick Allen is up. Dick Allen's going to hit a ground ball to Concepcion to short. That's going to be 1 down. And here's Johnstone. He needs a 1 to 11. It is going to be a 7. So he is able to get a single up the middle. So with 1 out, he's on base. And now Boone is up. He needs a 1 to 9. He's going to hit a line ball. And it's because it's in the 11. So Concepcion is able to pull that one in for the second out. And now Larry Bow is up. And he's going to hit a line out straight at Concepcion for the third out. But Philadelphia does get the first run of the game off of Lazinski's solo shot. And now Steve Carlton, who has a 2-hitter so far, is back on the mound, and he's going to go against Tony Perez. Tony Perez needs a 1 to 3. This one has the possibility. It's going 1 to 3 for a home run, and it's not going to be enough as it's going to be in the 11, so it's going to hit the bottom of the wall. Perez, though, stand up double.
Impressive.
And so now here is Foster, who had 29 home runs, led our team, also hit over 300. He's going to hit a ground ball to Cash at second. Cash has to make a play. He will, as he has to go hard to his left to pull this one in before it gets into the right field. He makes the play, gets the out at first, but Perez is on first. And now Johnny Bench is up with a chance for an RBI, and he's going to pop it up right to the catcher. Doesn't even get 5 feet from home plate. And so that's going to be 2 down, and now Concepcion's up the shortstop, and he's going to hit a fly ball opposite field to Johnstone for a routine fly out. And that's going to be the third out as we leave a runner stranded on third base. And now we go into the top of the 5th with Steve Carlton, who got a single his last at bat. He's going to hit a ground ball straight at Morgan. That's going to be an easy out, 1 down. And here's Cash. Cash is going to pull the ball to Foster. Pretty much a line drive that goes right to Foster. That's going to be 2 down, and now Gary Maddox is up. And Maddox is going to, with 2 outs, hit a single over first base. And that's going to go to Griffey, and that's going to land safely as Maddox is on first. And now Mike Schmidt is up. Gary Maddox trying to get a lead. He cannot. And Mike Schmidt is going to hit the ball to Griffey in right field, who has to make a play, and he will, as he is able to pull that one in. So that's going to end the inning as we go into the bottom of the 5th with our 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Here is Geronimo, and it's going to be a strikeout. Steve Carlton's 3rd strikeout, and his 4th strikeout as he strikes out Freddie Norman, the pitcher. And now with 2 down, here is Pete Rose, who's 1 for 2 with a double, and he's going to be struck out. So Steve Carlton strikes out all 3 batters he faces in the bottom of the 5th. And now Lazinski's up, who had the home run back in the 4th inning. He's going to hit a ground ball to Pete Rose. That's going to be 1 down. And here's Dick Allen. He's going to hit the ball in the opposite field to Griffey for the 2nd out. And now Johnstone's up. He's 2 for 2, and he's going to be 3 for 3. So Johnstone, who at 318 is having an incredible day, has gotten on base every single time. That's going to bring up Bob Boone. And Bob Boone,
just a bit outside.
Wild pitch, as Norman throws one way outside and in the dirt that Bench is not able to pull in. So Johnstone takes second.
Just a bit outside.
Another wild pitch.
You're a stupid head.
Norman with 2 straight wild pitches to allow Johnstone to go to first to second, now second to third. And Boone up to bat, and he luckily is going to hit a ground ball right to Pete Rose to get us out of that inning.
Brilliant!
As Norman almost self-destructed, and that's going to take us into the bottom of the 6th, where we have our 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Ken Griffey's going to lead us off. He has a double back in the 1st. He got on base in the 3rd on an error, and this time, though, he is not going to have to go back to the dugout, as he's going to hit a fly ball straight at Maddox in center. Now Morgan's up. He's 0 for 2. He needs a 1 to 14 for a single. It's going to be a 7, so he is on base. We are going to try to steal. He cannot get a good lead. Tony Perez is up. He's 1 for 2 with a double. And he's going to hit a ground ball to Larry Bow. He's going to throw it to Cash. Cash is going to try to turn the double play. He is not able to get it over to first in time. So a fielder's choice, and Perez is on first with 2 down. And now here is Foster. And Foster's going to hit a ground ball right at Larry Boa. And that's going to end the inning. So after 6, Philadelphia has 1 run off of Lazinski's solo home run. They have 8 hits. They've committed an error. Cincinnati has 0 runs, 4 hits, and has not committed an error yet as we go into the top of the 7th. Larry Boa, who at 248 is up. He has lined out twice, and this time he's going to be struck out. And so now here is Carlton, the pitcher who's pitching a gem of a game, and he's going to be struck out. So 3 strikeouts for Norman, and here's Cash. And Cash is going to hit a fly ball very high into center field. Geronimo has come in a little bit. That is going to make an easy out. And so 1, 2, 3 innings as we go into the bottom of the 7th. Johnny Bench is up. He is 0 for 2. He's going to need a 1 to 11 for a double. The rest is a single. This one's going, and it's going to land on the warning track. Maddox gets there, gets it quickly to the cutoff man, but Bench is on second base. And now here is Concepcion. We're going to let him swing away. Even though he's 0 for 2, he's going to hit a fly ball to Lazinski in left field. And that's going to be 1 down. And now here is Geronimo.
Just a bit outside.
And a wild pitch for Carlton. Very, very surprising there. But Bench is able to go to third. So Geronimo up to bat. They have their infield in. And unfortunately, Geronimo is not that great at bunting. So we're going to let him swing away and see if he can get a hit here. He's going to hit a fly ball to Johnstone in right field. It is pretty deep. We are going to tag and try to score a 1 to 13, a 65% chance to score. Bench tags up. Here's the throw by Johnstone, and
Save!
Bench scores. Bench scores. So we tie the game in that 7th. Freddie Norman, the pitcher, is up. So with a tie ball game, and he's going to be struck out. So we are able to tie it in the 7th inning. Freddie Norman back on the mound to enter the 8th inning as he goes against their 2, 3, and 4 hitter. Here's Gary Maddox. Gary Maddox needs a 1 to 17 for a double. It's going to be a 5. But because we were guarding the line, Pete Rose is able to be in the right place at the right time. So he robs that one.
Yeah, boy!
And that is instead going to be an out. And now Mike Schmidt is up. And Mike Schmidt, who's 1 for 3, is going to draw a walk. So he's on base. And now here's Greg Lazinski. Lazinski's going to hit a line ball right to Pete Rose. Pete Rose is going to quickly grab this one, throw it back over to first as Mike Schmidt was running on that one. So he is going to be tagged out for a double play. And now we're going to be able to go in to the bottom of the 8th inning with the top of the order. Pete Rose is up. Third baseman hit .323 with 10 home runs. He had a double in the 3rd that quite didn't have the distance to be out of the park. And he is going to lead off with a walk. So we got a runner quickly on first base. Here is Ken Griffey. Ken Griffey, I would love to see a 1, and column 1 is what comes up. But unfortunately, it does not hit the right number. So that's just going to be a fly out the right field. And now Morgan is up. Morgan is going to need a 1 to 11 off the pitcher's card. This one's got a shot. This one's up there. It's going, and it is gone.
Wow! I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't.
Joe Morgan with a 2-run home run off of Steve Carlton's card to give us a lead 3-1 with 1 out. A huge shot by the future Hall of Famer. And now Tony Perez is up. Tony Perez needs a 1 to 13 for a double. It's going to be an 18, so it is good enough for, he needed a 1 to 13 for a triple. He got an 18, so it's a double. So we are going to be safely on second still with only 1 out. And now George Foster's up. But Danny Ozark, the manager for the Phillies, is going to come in. He's going to pull Carlton in the 8th inning, and he's going to bring in Gene Garber to pitch. So here is Foster now, and a quick strikeout by Garber to go against his first batter. And now here's Johnny Bench, who's 1 for 3 with a double, and he's going to be struck out. So we go into the top of the 9th inning with a 3-1 lead. We are going to make a pitching change. And so we're going to bring in Wally Eastwook. Raleigh Eastwook went 11-5. He had 26 saves in 1976. He was the Cincinnati Reds closer. And he has a chance to finish this one off and send the Reds into the World Series against the New York Yankees. But Dick Allen, John Johnstone, and Bob Boone are up to bat for the Phillies, hoping to extend the series. And here's Dick Allen. Dick Allen hits one off of Eastwook to dead center field. This one might have enough, and no doubt about it. Holy cow, Dick Allen crushes that one into the stands in dead center field. So it's now suddenly a 3-2 game. So here's Johnstone, who had 318 with 5 home runs, and he's going to hit a ground ball to Pete Rose, a third. Pete Rose has to make a defensive play, and he will.
Got him!
Pete Rose makes an incredible defensive play. That's going to be 1 down, and now here is Bob Boone, who's 0 for 3. Bob Boone's going to hit a ground ball to Concepcion. He is able to make a play, and so that's going to be 2 down. So 2 defensive plays were needed to be made. Pete Rose and Concepcion both did it, and now that's going to be 2 down with Larry Boa trying to extend the series. He is 0 for 3 today. He's lined out twice. He struck out back in the 7th. Raleigh Eastwick on the mound trying to close this one out. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a ground ball to Tony Perez, who's easily able to scoop that one up. He takes it to first himself. That's going to be the 3rd out as Cincinnati Reds comes back after trailing by 1 and get 3 runs in the 7th and 8th to take a 3-2 victory and advance to the World Series. And there you go. The championship series for both the National League and the American League has concluded. In the National League, the Cincinnati Reds win the series 3-1, unlike they did in 1976, where originally they had swept the Phillies. It took us 4 games. But in the American League, the New York Yankees, we were able to manage to a 3-1 victory in their series, unlike in 1976, where it took Billy Martin 5 games. It only took me 4. So what's going to happen in the World Series? Will it be the Cincinnati Reds again winning? Will they do it in 4 games like they had in 1976? Will the New York Yankees actually win any games? Or will the New York Yankees actually upset the Cincinnati Reds and win our replay of the 1976 World Series? So keep on checking out the series, as next we're going to be doing the World Series between the New York Yankees and the Cincinnati Reds. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Until next time, this is Coach DK. Have a good one. Bye.